Hello all, in this video we will see how to publish the light sensor data from Raspberry Pi to a client using the MQTT broker. So here we are going to use MQTT Explorer client, which you can download. We will show the instructions on how to do this, and we will use the same setup which we have used in our previous video, where we read the light sensor data, the analog value on the Raspberry Pi using ADS1115 ADC, right? So let us see the detailed steps in this video. So as we have mentioned, we need a client like MQTT Explorer to actually send the data from Raspberry Pi, so that the MQTT Explorer that we use here will subscribe to the data that is being sent from the Raspberry Pi. So if you see here, mqtt-explorer.com, this is what we use to download the MQTT client. So you go down and you can see the options for your operating system. So we are using Windows, so click on installer and it will download the MQTT Explorer client, and you can use this particular MQTT Explorer to receive your data. So when you click here, you can see this is how the MQTT Explorer looks like, and you can also see a history of the data, which is actually very good. Okay, so and then you can also publish as well as subscribe from this particular MQTT Explorer, which is very helpful. Okay, now once you have installed, you also have to know few things in the process, which we will explain in the coming video. Apart from the MQTT Explorer, which we have talked, we also need PAHO MQTT, which basically is a client which helps us. Basically, it's a you can say it's a software which helps us connect our Raspberry Pi to a MQTT broker. So what we have to do is we have to actually install this PAHO MQTT on our Raspberry Pi board, so that we can actually communicate to the MQTT Explorer, which we have shown from the Raspberry Pi. Okay, so in this video we'll also show how to install the PAHO MQTT on Raspberry Pi and move ahead working on publishing and subscribing the data. So to proceed working on the Raspberry Pi, we need the following commands that are shown here. Okay, we will show how to proceed with the installation one by one. So first thing, when you are working on this particular Mosquitto MQTT broker, so we actually need to upgrade the OS on your Raspberry Pi. So the first step that you have to do is go to the VS Code, and already we have the board connected to the VS Code. Okay, here paste sudo apt update. That means you are actually trying to get all the updates that are available. Okay, and it is saying all packages are up to date. In case if they are not, you might have to run this upgrade so that it upgrades to those packages. And the next step is to install the PAHO MQTT. Okay, this is what enables this particular Raspberry Pi board to connect to the MQTT client. Okay, so let us try to paste this and enter. So this will actually install the PAHO MQTT. Okay, for us, okay, so the requirement is already satisfied because we have already installed this. Okay, and then let us go back to the command set, and here as everything is installed and our Raspberry Pi is ready, we have to actually start the MQTT. Okay, so let us go back, and this is the command sudo system control enable systemctl enable mosquito.service. Okay, once you do this, actually you see that we have enabled the mosquito service on Raspberry Pi. So that means we are ready to proceed with the Raspberry Pi related publishing. So in this process, one thing what we have to know is, so we have to also know the IP address of the Raspberry Pi. Okay, so to know the IP address of the Raspberry Pi, you can see here, this is the command. Okay, so host name dash I. So this is the IP address of the Raspberry Pi 192.168.0.122. Okay, so now you know the IP address, you have the Mosquito client running and installed, and we are actually now ready to talk to the MQTT Explorer, but we need the Python code, right? Let us look at it. So here, as the commands have become clumsy, let us try to clear everything. Okay, so that you have a very clean terminal. Okay, and now what we need is, basically we have a MQTT publish dash py. This is the Python code which we already have. So this Python code is a little extension of the ADC data that we have read in the previous video. So we are actually reading the ADC, and then we have a MQTT host. These are the variables related to the MQTT, and we have assigned the IP address. This is the port, and the keep alive interval, which is clear, and we have a specific topic. As we have mentioned, for the MQTT broker, topic is very important. So here the topic is way to know slash light underscore sensor. So this is the topic to which any of the subscriber must subscribe to. Okay, and in the continuous loop, what we are doing is, we are actually assigning the voltage which we read to MQTT message, and then we are actually connecting and trying to publish the topic as well as the message, and then we are disconnecting, and then after some time again we are actually trying to send the message. This is the code, and we will post this code on our GitHub page. You can actually get access to this. You can write to us in the comments. We'll provide you update the code if you require. Okay, so now as this is done, we actually need to open the MQTT Explorer. So this is the MQTT Explorer. Once you install, you will have this window opened. Okay, in this we can open a connection by clicking and using your provide your settings. Here we have named it as Raspberry Pi, and this is the host address, and this is the port name. Okay, we don't have any credentials at the moment, and once you are given this, you can save, and now click on connect. Okay, once it is connected, you can see as we hover over this, you can see connection health online. That means you have the MQTT Explorer connected to your Raspberry Pi. Okay, now what you can do is, you can actually go here and click on the topic. Okay, so the topic here is way to know underscore light sensor. Okay, this is the topic. Okay, now the important point that we need to do is go back, and we actually have to run this now. Okay, in the MQTT Explorer, we already connected to the Raspberry Pi. We know the topic, and we actually have subscribed to it. Okay, and you can see here it is trying to read if there is any data. So here let us go and try to execute this particular publish.py, right? Okay, let us try to execute this, and you can see here the Python code started running and it is continuously publishing. Message published is what once the it enters into on publish. Okay, and if you go here you can see the topic which we have subscribed to has started running, accepting the data. When you click on this particular data, okay, you can see the history. Okay, and you can see here, sorry, here if you click on history you can see all the data that is being received. Now we are trying to actually close the light sensor. You can see the light sensor value has increased, and we are actually trying to give light to the light sensor, and the value has fallen down, which is very clearly seen. And then we are trying to give light here. Okay, and it is falling further, and we are bringing it to dark and the light. So continuously we are receiving the data. So if you want to come out of this, click on this and control C, which will provide an interrupt, and you can see the data stopped. Okay.